Hey y'all, this is Driver. So we're back in some more ATS. Got us a load here out of Kalispell, Montana, where we dropped last time. And we're going to take used packaging and a refrigerator trailer of all things, but okay, I'll go with it. And we're going to Colville, Montana. So, pretty basic run. It's only a couple hundred miles, nothing crazy. So, we're going to pop back in here, get our stuff back. So, yeah, we got a 280-mile ride. It's not going to be too bad this time. About like last time, I guess. So trying to keep these short, just to keep the video shorter. Just kind of see how it goes that way. There's been a lot. I have to almost go to the bottom of the list, guys. So, um, and today's topic is going to be a reply or kind of a question, also again from AK Aiden, and he was wanting to know about using ATS or ETS for learning how to drive commercially. And I'm going to expand on that with a couple other things while we're driving. So that's going to be our topic. So let's work on getting out of this parking lot first. We're at Walmart, for crying out loud. So if anybody's ever been to Walmart, you kind of know how rough this neighborhood can be. Anybody going to run me over? It's nighttime, so it's going to be a nighttime run, guys. I apologize for that. We're going to be delivering right about daybreak from the looks of it. Anybody coming that way? No way, that way, that way. Let's go. So yeah, that's Aiden. That was a very good question that you had there. Um, I'm on the fence with it. So Aiden's original question, and I won't know it exactly word for word because I don't have it in front of me. But his question was he'd seen where a person had used and learned how to fly using Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm thinking it was Flight Simulator at least. It was one of the flight sims, and you know, doing that with Flight Simulator, I can agree with doing that. And the reason why is Microsoft Flight Simulator and ones like it, most people take pretty serious. A lot of them guys are really about the realism. Whereas over here in ATS and ETS, there's a good fair amount of us that are still for the realism. Some of us tweak it down a little bit, like I have fines turned off and things like that. I don't simulate the fatigue or the air brakes. I've done enough of that driving for a living. Um, in a way, I guess you could use this game to learn. I do know that there are trucking schools that has some kind of a driver simulation, but it's a lot more evasive than what ATS or ETS is. Theirs goes off a whole different kind of a rule set. It's not really a game like this is, where it's more of an actual learning tool. So it goes through a whole lot of things. Um, and think of it like this. I mean, think of when you learned how to drive a car. You had to learn all the rules of the road for wherever you're from. You had to practice, which I guess you could say you get your practice on here. Um, but when you went and took your test, you had all your maneuvering that you had to do. I know that when I took my driving test for a car, I had to do parallel parking. I had to do 3-point turn. I had to do, various maneuvers like that. And even when I got my CDL, I had to do those again. Um, Whereas in here, we don't really have a lot of those maneuvers. There's never a need for us to parallel park a semi truck on the shoulder on this game here. So it would lack in some of that aspect. Um, I don't know if there's an actual simulator out there that us as the regular people could purchase. Even if we could purchase, if it would really be worthwhile, money wise. Because I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm not going to go buy a simulation setup for $500 that I'm only going to use just to learn something and never use again. Um, so I do know there are simulations out there like that. Um, how evasive they go out there, I don't really know. I didn't go through a trucking school to obtain my CDL. And there was a lot of truck drivers around my time and older drivers that didn't either. Um, and I'm not saying anything bad about trucking schools, but I kind of look at them as kind of like schools for when you learn how to drive a car. Can we pass this guy? I'll make an attempt at it at least. Come on by, dude. Okay. Sorry, I just did not feel like following him the whole way. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that. Using this game to learn how to drive a real truck in life, I would say the person would struggle. I'm not saying it's impossible, and I think they would struggle. A lot of the rule sets in this game are not even correct. For example, the licensing stuff, the way they have you do it. So in the states here, we get our commercial license by obtaining our permit and going through all those hoops. And then as far as your other stuff, when it comes to your what we call uh, dang it, not permits, endorsements. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart about that. What are we doing up here? That's a turn only lane. People got lost there. Sorry about that. You go get your endorsement, for example, and I believe I've talked about this in another video, but like for your hazmat endorsement, you go and you take your written test, you do fingerprints, and you pay your bill for that. The taxa, we'll call it, to do that. Once you do all that, you have a full hazmat license. Whereas on here, it goes through and you can check whether or not you want to do hazardous material, flammable material, and so on and so forth. Um, so I think for this game to work at its most potential for someone to get their license to drive, in real life, they would have to either this game would have to really update its rule set, and I doubt they ever will because I think they're kind of on a system they want to stay on, or that driver's gonna have to look way outside the boundaries to get the correct rule set for where they want to drive at. So I don't think this would be a viable option, but I guess it could be a start. Um, Obviously, if you're playing like I'm playing right now, where I'm using a controller, or back when I used to use keyboard, obviously, you're not going to have the skills of holding a steering wheel, but those take time anyways. I mean, everybody that's driven a car, which I think is all of us, knows that no two cars drive alike, you know, um, especially for the people that are married and you got two cars at the house, your car might drive differently than your wife's car, or, vice versa type thing, depending upon how you are. Um, things like that. So, I mean, you're going to have to get used to that vehicle anyways, no matter what. Even two brand new vehicles don't even drive the same. You could have two brand new, I don't know, Ford Tauruses, sitting side by side at the Ford dealership, and you could drive both of them, and both of them drive differently to some extent. I mean, yes, they're both new, so they should drive relatively similar, but they're still going to act just a little different at times. So, honestly, I mean, I would look if somebody really wanted to learn how to drive commercially for a living, but didn't want to go through a trucking school. I would maybe look at maybe if there is a simulator you can buy, but I doubt you can buy. It's going to be similar to what this game is, so it's only going to give you part of your information you need. Um, or you're better off to just go and get your CDL, like I talked about before, whether you go just go get your permit, or you go and either get your permit, or you go and go to driving school, which the driving school is going to walk you through that permit process. Come on, dude, let's go. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I'm trying to not be a negative Nancy on it. I'm just looking at the realism. You know, I've seen a lot of guys come out of truck driving school that they couldn't drive to save their life if they wanted to. It was nothing against them. It's having the skill, and some people can get it right as they get out, and get on the road. Some people it takes many many years to hone that skill, and others just can never grasp that skill. I mean, and that's with anything in life. So, guess we're stopping here. What are you doing, dude? So yeah, one thing I will say that I was just thinking about, if um if somebody's really really wanting to get into driving a truck, um most of those people already have a friend in the industry. They've been driving for a while. You know, if they could, use that person, not use them in a bad way, but be able to either go on a drive with them to see what it's like out there, or um, somebody could sit down and talk, about the whole trucking industry and how it works. Um, that would actually probably be a pretty viable option if they could do that. That was one thing that I had when I was just getting started too. Was I have a few friends actually. One in particular that I can think of that he's been driving since before he could get a CDL, and when it came to what kind of work he did and the kind of trucking that he did, I was able to obtain a fair amount of information from him, by just chatting. And he also worked for his uncle at the time, and so I was able to ride along with him and see how things went. And I actually even got a chance to drive a little bit on a dirt road just to kind of get a feel for what trucking would really be like. And that was before I ever really got into it and really hadn't thought a whole lot about it. That might have been kind of what really got me thinking about it more. But if somebody has that opportunity where you've got a friend or a family member that is in the business and can take you, say, on a trip to learn a little bit, that can be very beneficial. Um, Being able to learn the ropes from somebody that's got experience is always a very nice thing to have. I mean, you know, I don't think you would learn how to write if the person that was teaching you didn't know how to write either. And I'm not trying to knock trucking schools. A lot of the people at the trucking schools, it varies with them. About 50% of them have driven over the road like me, have a lot of knowledge of the road, been out here for a long time, or out long enough to know how everything kind of works. Even though some of the rules change over time, they have the basics. And then others, they have very little knowledge. They've either driven very short time or never at all. The guy that I rented the truck from to take my driving test, I asked him how long he had been trucking, and he said he'd never trucked. He His friend actually owned the truck that we were using. He just did the legwork for him, and all he did was he went and got his CDL just enough to be able to teach us. You know, and in my opinion, it's kind of hard to learn from somebody that doesn't have that experience, that knowledge. Not saying you can't learn anything from them. The thing I did learn was, you know, how to make the route the way that I was supposed to make the route for the actual test, because he showed you the way to go, and what tests they were going to do, because he dealt with it on a day to day basis. So there was that part, but that was only basically a cheat. You know, it'd be like sitting beside the smart kid in the school, and you just be able to look over at his test and get the same answers, right? So that's kind of my opinion on it. I don't want to keep rambling about it. Um, but we can touch back over to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I have been putting a couple of videos up. I'm planning on doing some more here soon. Um, Flight Simulator is recognized by certain flight schools. There's a lot more that goes into getting your flying license than it is to get a driver's license or a commercial license for trucking. But I do know that they do recognize that, but I do not know the extent of what they recognize. I do know that they require you to do it full on like you was going to do it in real life. If you've seen my flight sim videos, I do usually start at the gate and I usually taxi out for a little bit of that realism. And I do use ATC, which is the voice tower, basically. Um, but I do not use, actually have fuel consumption turned off. And I do not have a lot of the realism factors turned on. which some of those is the like stressing the plane to where it destroys itself, having engine malfunctions, things like that. I don't have none of that turned on. I get on there to fly and just have some fun, guys. I'm not that real into it, but I am a little bit, if that makes sense. And people play ATS and ETS the same way. We all do the same thing with Farm Sim. It's just everybody has their own style. But you could use Flight Simulator to hone your skills and learn how to fly. You know, especially if you're using the yoke and rudder pedals, which I do not have. I would love to buy, but money wise, I don't see it fit for me to buy that for two reasons. Money, I wouldn't use it enough to justify the cost, and also too, I don't have the space in my room for it. So I don't even have the space for my wheel and pedals right now. So that's why I'm using a controller. I'm actually, I've stood here and looked at my room a couple of times and wondered how I can rearrange this to where I have room for my wheel and pedals or just have a little bit extra space. And I've got a couple ideas. I look at how much stuff I'd have to move and go, I don't know if it's that important, right? So, but speaking of flight sim though, just to have a little conversation while we're cruising here, um, let's get on our side of the road. That's a good idea. We're not in England, are we? No. So, flight sim. I am planning on doing more videos, like I said. Um, I haven't quite decided where I'm going to fly at because I fly so many different areas out there. I do tend to stick to the smaller planes. I've been contemplating on maybe for video's sake, maybe branching out and flying different stuff that I don't normally fly. But at the same time, I enjoy what I do fly. So I'm kind of bent on that, and kind of bent on where I want to fly at. I usually use real time, real weather, and all that stuff. So depending upon when I do my recordings or my live streams for it, kind of depends upon if I'm flying in the day or dark. Um, because like if I fly here where I'm from, and I live in North Florida, I can turn on a red dummy. Let's go. So if I fly here in North Florida, currently the it's been cloudy here the past several days and been raining off and on. If I record those during the day, it's going to be raining sometimes. Um, if I wait until after 5 or so in the afternoon, it's going to be nighttime. I'm going to be flying in the dark all night. I mean, it goes on a real time clock. So so sometimes I will get on and I will fly at night for a little while, and then I will want to fly during the day. And I have two options to fly during the day. I can either turn off the real time stuff, or I can just find somewhere else to fly. Which normally what I do is I'll go over out toward Europe or something. I couldn't tell you how many times it was 2 o'clock in the morning here, but I'd go fly over in Italy because it's daylight over there. But yeah, I'm planning on doing some more flight sim stuff. I have messed around and like I went over to Cairo, Egypt one time and flew around the pyramids with a friend. A old roommate of mine. We both played flight sim. Actually, he got me more into flight sim because he is a pilot, and we used to fly around different places that we drove 18-wheelers, and we did trucking in because we also both truck drive. So, and I've actually talked to them too. We've talked about maybe getting a group together to try to do like a live stream multiplayer flight, but we just haven't got our schedules lined up for whatever that reason might be. Probably me, I don't know. Because we don't even have anything planned. I mean, I basically told both of them friends that, hey, I'd like to do this, and I don't care where we fly. We just get together an hour before we fly, and we just go. I don't know what lane to be in. I guess we're getting in this one. Yeah, I'm planning on doing that. Um, Speaking of multiplayer and doing live streams and things like that, I know that I've been doing some live streams on GTA 5. I am aware that most of you may not be interested in it, of the normal group, um, partially because I know that the language in that game is pretty harsh and there's a lot of violence, that kind of thing, and I fully understand. Um, if it's just something you're not into, that's fine. I'll try to keep putting out content that I know everybody likes, but that's also another game I enjoy. And also speaking about live streams as well, I'm looking into changing up my live streams. I'm thinking about moving over to Twitch. I've been currently setting everything up because I'm still on the fence, but I'm really thinking hard about it. So I may start doing my live streams over at Twitch. Doesn't mean you got to follow me to Twitch, because I will upload those VODs over to YouTube. It will still stay on my regular channel here with you guys. And I will put everything into its own playlist. I'm thinking I'm going to make a playlist called like Twitch Replay or something of that nature. And if you feel like going and watching those, you'll be more than welcome to. Of course, I'd love to have you over on Twitch. You know, if you want to come over and hang out on Twitch, that's great. But if you don't have time to come over to Twitch, I know some of y'all can't even catch my live streams. That's cool. Um, so just the options are going to be there. Currently, right now, I'm not planning on doing anything on Twitch quite yet. I'm still kind of setting things up, and I mean, I might get everything set up this afternoon and do it tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, probably not. Well, not tonight for you guys. I'm recording 2 videos in one day, so the possibility I may have already streamed on Twitch, or I may start streaming on Twitch soon. So I may put out a little quick video if I do start doing that. So just something to let you guys know, something else you guys can check out on. Um, right now, I don't want to go into the reasons of going back to Twitch. I have some reasons behind it, but I'm trying to really justify if it's really worth my time and effort, if I really want to do that or not. So we'll just kind of see at this point, and I'll let y'all know when that time comes. So, and I may at times still stream over on YouTube as well. We'll just kind of see how everything goes. Who's in that lane? So yeah, so we got 35 miles to go. Looks like here. Yep, 35 now. But we're not far from where we're going. I do know I got guys. I know I got some people in here that comment regularly on my stuff, with mostly truck sim and whatnot. A little bit of farm sim now. I know I have not been doing anything for FS22. There's been a couple reasons on that. Right now with FS25 fixing to come out, I didn't want to start a new series on FS22. All my save games that I had for FS22, I've either lost them due to incorrect saves or something like that. I don't know if you guys remember, I had some computer issues, and when I copied the files, some of them aren't working. So the original live stream series that I was doing for Nordgrad, I ended up pulling my server down because it really wasn't getting used and didn't really have the time at the time to play on it. And when I canceled the subscription for the multiplayer server, I saved it, but it didn't save. So I ended up with the original start at the beginning, start over garbage. So I just don't really feel like doing a new series when we're this close to a new game coming out. And I'm still on the fence with buying 25. Now, it's not that I don't like the things that are coming in 25 or anything like that. For those that do not know, I'm not working right now. I moved back home to help my mom out, and I've been doing a bunch of other stuff, but I will be having to get another job here soon. It's part of the reason why I've had time to do some of the gaming that I've been doing and putting out more videos than normal. But yeah, I'll be looking for another job here pretty soon. What are we stopping for? What are we stopping? Oh, we're just around a corner where we're going. That was pretty quick. So yeah, I'm paying attention to what you guys are saying and the likes and comments and things like that. That's why I keep putting out more of the trucking videos. I know that you guys like them, and I'm gonna continue doing that. The flight sims seem to do pretty decent, so I'm gonna continue that for now and just kind of see how it goes. If I see a continuous support in it, I'll do more of those and expand off of that. Probably the live streams over on Twitch, if I switch over to there, or currently any live stream at all, is going to be probably going to be based on GTA for right now. That's just kind of what I'm playing with some friends. So, okay, we're going to let this park it because I don't think I'll clear that fence. Yeah, they can park it. Okay, so let's see how we did here. All right, 12,600 and change and pay. Yeah, we did pretty good. I mean, it wasn't too bad for a 280-mile run. So, all right, let's get that over there. Go back outside. Let's see if we're still. Turn signal's still on for one. Why is it doing that? Oh, the trailer's still hooked up. Cool. All right, guys. So, well, there's that on that. That's going to be the end of this video here. I appreciate you guys hanging out, tagging along, and listening to me ramble about nothing sometimes. Um, any questions or ideas that you have for me, great, throw them at me. If you got any, especially questions about truck driving, I'll answer them to the best of my knowledge. I might have to go dig and do some research depending upon how deep we got to go with it. Like the stuff I was talking about in the previous video. Um, so yeah. Anyhow, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.